boy. You feel me, chat? All right. Let's see what's going on with this video. The Golden State Warriors are hiding a monster.
Right here is Jaylen Brown with the ball. In other words, the NBA's highest paid player. I just hope he puts that money in a bank far, far away from Gary Payton II. Because watch here as he tries to pump fake into a drive and GP2 steals it off him with ease. But this wasn't a one-off. In the last 2 games of the NBA Finals, GP2 stripped Brown not once, not twice, but 4 times, including this play, which makes no sense. Payton expects the handoff, but Brown cuts back door, and it looks certain that he's beat GP2, right?
Yeah.
He recovers and rips the ball out of his hands whilst he's spinning. I said. This right here is what the Golden State Warriors missed last year. Not just a useful defender, but one of the best guard defenders in the NBA, which was a huge reason the Dubs went from the 2nd ranked defense last year to the 14th ranked defense this year. And not only is GP2 back, but with a full preseason, he's going to be healthy and hopefully doing a lot more of this.
It's gonna be, it's gonna be so beautiful to have him back. Hey! Hey!
We need to start by talking about the defense, though. I already mentioned it, but a big reason for the Dubs' struggles this year was their defensive fall-off, which had to do with Wiggs missing time, but the absence of GP2 was bigger than anyone seems to realize or be talking about. If we take it back to last year, there were 2 players that absolutely guaranteed the opposition team wouldn't score: Draymond Green and Gary Payton II. In the combined 2,900 minutes that either Dre or GP2 were on the floor together, the Dubs had the #1 ranked defense at all times. And when they weren't on the floor, well, the Dubs defense dropped off significantly. And that's because you can't teach or acquire the skills that GP2 has. I mean, here is SGA, one of the shiftiest players in the league, blowing past Chiozza. That's not very surprising. But GP2 steps in and just rips the ball out of his hands. His ability to literally rip the ball away from opponents whilst they are moving is mind-blowing. Or how about this play? Watch here as LaVine has the ball out top. He tries
and
to
the thing is, chat, this is why I love GP2, because he actually wants to play defense and loves playing defense. Look how aggressive he is. Like, he is under Zach LaVine's grill. Like, he is not letting that man breathe.
LaVine has the ball out top. He tries to create separation going right, and before he can navigate the screen, the ball is already out of his hands, and GP2 is down the other end, throwing down a reverse dunk. And this is what GP2 does better than anyone in the league. The slightest relaxation,
he waits for that second pound. He waits for that second pound.
Anyone in the league, the slightest,
and then he knows that second pound's coming up, and it's, I don't know why he knows this, but every time as an NBA player, or not even an NBA player, but as a basketball player, every time you do, like, you get ready to do a move, right, chat? When you start to dribble, like, depending on what it is, depending on what the move is, you start to get a little comfortable, right? Because you feel like the defender's not going to reach like GP2 is. Because you think you're going to get a foul call. So you start to get a little relaxed and you start to, like, slow your dribble down. GP2 literally times that second dribble because we start to slow that dribble down, bro. And it's crazy.
This is what GP2 does better than anyone in the league. The slightest relaxation, and he
waits for that second one.
That 1, 2, boom. Was the exact moment Gary decided to pounce, and it's a
like 7 Man saying, just like 7 Man saying.
Pounces. The moment LaVine readied himself to navigate that screen was the exact moment Gary decided to pounce, and it's a rare combination of skill, speed, strength, and anticipation that, again, you cannot teach. Don't just take my word for it, though. The stats back it up as well. If we go back to last year, GP2 was elite across the board in both the playoffs and regular season at disrupting opponents with those active hands. I mean, you see the plus-minus in the playoffs, but that still doesn't do his impact justice. When GP2 was on the floor in the 2022 playoffs, the Dubs had a 102 defensive rating, which would have been the best of any team. When he was off the floor, that slipped to 112. a 10-point differential. Yet despite this, no one is making any kind of noise about a healthy GP2 returning to this Dubs team. I mean, how often do you hear names like Alex Caruso brought up when talking about helping a contender? The Dubs have their version of Caruso ready to dominate again, and it's crickets. And he doesn't just make an impact on defense, but offensively, he's also a high-impact player in a way that is really...
Yes, GP2 always does. Just like how he's about to show this play right now, GP2 be looking for those backdoor lobs all the time. This high pick and roll, these two dudes don't know what they're doing. Why are you doubling Steph at the top? Yes, I know why you're doubling Steph, because he's a great shooter.
Play in a way.
But since you're doubling Steph, now you leave Looney. D-Mitch he thinks he's going to be able to recover because, I mean, help Gobert out because Looney's up here. But Looney's not even looking to score, chat. Because you know why? GP2 is sliding down from the corner.
That is really unique for his size. Take this play for example. Right here is Klay Thompson with the ball. Right here is 6'2" Gary Payton II. And there's 6'8" LeBron James. What do you guys think is about to happen?
Thompson behind the back.
Hey!
Oh,
Dunk on him. I remember that.
Yeah, in game one of this year's playoffs, LeBron learned a very important lesson. It doesn't matter who you are, don't jump with the young glove. And when I say LeBron learned his lesson, there's 6 minutes left on the clock in Game 5 of the same series. Wiggs drops it off to GP2. LeBron has a golden chance to contest GP2 at the rim. What decision do you think he makes?
Gives it to Payton.
Not jump.
Yeah, scaring LeBron wasn't the only role he played in the Lakers series though. Following the first 3 games, Anthony Davis was causing the Dubs all kinds of issues. With the Dubs lacking a real role threat along with some spacing issues, AD was allowed to camp in the paint and disrupt everything.
I'm not gonna lie, that shit pissed me that made me so mad that AD literally could camp the paint like against us. Like that shit.
Steve Kerr decided that GP2 would turn into the little big man he is. Watch here as he sets the screen 30 feet from the basket. Steph does Steph things, drawing AD, which allows GP2 to slip in behind for the finish. Or in this play where this time Payton slips the screen immediately, and with AD out on the perimeter, he only has Reeves to beat. But what makes Payton so particularly unique in this role is, let's not forget, he was once a point guard. I know it's hard to believe, but that means he can also make plays like this. They run the same high pick and roll, GP2 gets it on the move, but has the presence of mind to avoid the charge whilst dropping an absolute dime.
I'm telling you, GP2 is
We've seen his cutting ability ever since he entered the league. Take this play for example where he's on the baseline. And the moment Davion Mitchell gets caught ball watching, he makes an aggressive cut to the basket for the quick lay. Or even better is when he cuts to the rim for a lob. Guards are just not prepared to deal with a 6'2" player who is attacking the rim like he's 7 foot. I mean, he's catching reverse alley-oops. Let that sink in for a second. And the stats back it up as well. Last year, GP was in the top 96 percentile of cutters, scoring
96 percentile of cutters is crazy.
On cuts. And in the limited minutes this year, he was just as effective. Basically, if you find Gary cutting to the rim, it's a guaranteed bucket. But having him run pick and rolls with Steph Curry, the gravity of Steph, is something I hope the Warriors use again next season with a fully healthy GP2. But there's one particular reason
you need to be getting those backdoor cuts, backdoor dunks.
The Western Conference has a lot of guard talent. Wiggs and Dre are monsters at guarding wings or big guards like Luka, but the likes of Murray, Booker, Ja, and so forth are a job for GP2. Unfortunately, because Dylan Brooks is a clown, we never got to see a full matchup of Ja versus GP2 in last year's playoffs, but there was one play that demonstrated exactly what he can do. Triple J has the ball out top. Ja makes a back cut and creates a slight bit of separation before stepping inside to avoid Otto. But this is where GP2 casually blocks him from behind.
Let's go.
I mean, can we just appreciate how difficult this block is? Ja is in midair, moving to his right, yet GP2 is able to track him with just his right arm, blocking the shot whilst in midair.
Yes, sir.
That right there is supreme skill. This wasn't the only time these two matched up though. In a game during early January of 2022, Ja and GP2 had another battle, which included this play where Gary picks him up 94 feet from the basket.
Because GP2 has that intense defense.
The whole way up the floor, looking like a defensive tackle as he spins around this screen before ripping Ja and then out in transition. Well, he does what he does, going from guarding him 94 feet to then getting a bucket in transition Those are the kind of defensive plays that elevate a team in the playoffs.
That's facts.
Everyone knows what Steph Curry does to defenses. Not only does he obliterate them, but he gets in their head purely just because of how good he is. Well, GP2 does this exact same thing on the other side of the floor. We saw that in Game 1 against Memphis with Ja panicking as GP2
As soon as he
forced
got
a
the ball,
turnover off his
he
presence
passed it as
alone.
soon
Now,
as
if you want to hear about the
GP2
future
got
of
on.
the Warriors defense, click here. Or click here to
Oh,
find out
man.
about JP
W
2.0.
video.
Most importantly, have a good day. Bye.
Hiya.